Hi, friends.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Faith Finders Fun on Musical Sunday. And we want to teach you one of our favorite camp songs to a really old song. Does anybody know Jesus Loves Me? I do. Do you know Jesus Loves Me?
Yeah.
Well, at camp, we sing it a little bit different. So what you need again is your musical instruments is your hands. And this week's slaps and claps are a lot easier than last week's. It's just 2 slaps and a clap. There we go. All right, and then we sing the words to Jesus Love Me to just a little bit different melody. So here we go. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Singing sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo! Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo! Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo! Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah!
Let's do another one.
We've been reading a really fun story in the Bible this week. You can find it in your Spark Story Bible on page 130. And the story is called David and Goliath. Can you say Goliath?
Goliath.
Yeah, that's a fun name to say, but kind of a scary person. Because if you look right here, here's our friend David. Now, he was chosen to be king of Israel, but before he could, they had to face a really big army, and they were called the Philistines. Can you say Philistines?
Philistines.
All right, you need to sit down.
Wait.
And the Philistines came and said, we want to live here. And the Israelites said, no, we want to live here. And they said, yes, no, back and forth. Can you say that, Evan? Yes, no. And finally, the Philistines said, that's enough. We're going to send in Goliath. Whoa. Can you see that big giant? Whoa. Now, when we read the Spark Story Bible, we look for our little buddy named Squiggles. He's a caterpillar. And the look on his face usually tells us how people are feeling in the story. Evan, can you find Squiggles? Oh, look at Squiggles. Does he look concerned about Goliath?
No.
Yeah. And Goliath was a really big giant and a really big problem. But God promised David that if he trusted him and had God's love with him in his heart, that God would be with him during any problem, even big problems like Goliath. Now in our story today, David takes a slingshot, an itty-bitty rock, and flings it at Goliath. And look what happens. It knocks the giant over. And the Philistines said, I guess we'll go away. And the Israelites all said, yay, we get to live here. And they were so happy. And what we learned from the story is that anybody, any size, if they trust God, that he will be there with them, that we can face any problem, big or small, even as big as the giant Goliath. So we want to teach you another verse to that song. Evan, you want to come sit down and we can teach them the new verse? Come sit down. We want to teach you a new verse to that song. And how it goes is God chooses you and me, just like God chose David. He chooses you, and he chooses me, and he chooses Evan every day. It says God chooses you and me no matter what size we may be. You don't have to wait to be an adult to trust God and to have him help you with problems. Even little people, just like Evan, can trust God, and we can face big problems. So God chooses you and me no matter what size we may be. He helps us do good every hour because God's love in our heart is our superpower. All right, so let's put that all together in our song. All right, let's do that. God chooses you and me no matter what size we may be. He helps us do good every hour because God's love's our superpower. Singing sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo! Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo! Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo! Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah!
Now let's do Wonder Balloons.
Now we have a really fun way to celebrate this story and how if we trust God with our problems and we hold them in our hands and say, God, I trust you to help me with any problems, we can shoot them off and watch our worries and our stress and our anxiety splash away. Now we may not use a rock and a slingshot like in the story, but we thought of something really fun to use. Should we use water balloons?
Yeah, let's do some.
Come on, friends, let's go make some water balloons, and we will show you a really fun way to trust God, even in big problems. Come on, friends. So activity today with your water balloons is to fill them up and then to hold one in your hands and think of something that seems like a big problem. I can think of a really big problem. All right, you're going to take it in your hands. You're going to say, God, Evan, can you say God?
God,
I trust you
I trust you
to be with me
to be with me
when I face
when I face
my big problems.
my big problems.
Then, as your prayer, you're going to let go of that water balloon and watch it splash all of our fears away. Ready?
Yeah.
Can you throw a water balloon? 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to have some extra fun, in our story today, our friend David used one of these. Do you know what one of these is called? Evan, what's this called?
A slingshot.
A slingshot. You can put your water balloon in and slingshot it even farther. Make those worries and fears go even farther away. So let's give it a try. Let's get a water balloon and say, God, I trust you to be with me during my problem.
A big
Wow, and it smashed. Now, if you don't have a slingshot at home, you can make your own. And a really easy way to do that is to get a pair of stretchy pants. I found some of my silly yoga pants. So you could use some from your mom or your sister or some athletic pants that have a lot of good stretch to them.
Or a boat.
And you can use 3 people to put it together, but it's just me and Evan, so I'm going to use a step stool. I'm going to tie the middle around the step stool. Really nice and tight. You take the water balloon and put it in the middle. And pull back really hard with one hand and really hard forward with the other hand, and then let go with the middle. Woo! And watch it explode. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week, friends. Don't forget to check out Marvelous Monday tomorrow and like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and never forget that when you trust God with your little bitty problems and trust that He's there with you, He can make all your worries and your stress splash away. Have a great week, friends. Bye.